Welcome back. And here is a health informatics data and AI talk,
Yeah.
focusing on a new study about predicting those all-important diagnosis-related groups,
Right.
DRGs for hospital patients.
Mm-hmm.
These codes are a big deal
Yeah.
because they play a huge role in how hospitals get paid
Right.
and manage their resources, right?
That's right. In the U.S., each DRG bundles patients with similar diagnoses and procedures.
Yeah.
It's like a shorthand for the hospital's cost, which simplifies billing and helps keep things fair across the board.
But the current way of assigning DRGs seems a bit old school, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like we're stuck doing things manually in the age of supercomputers.
It is quite a process.
Yeah.
Usually, coding specialists have to go through everything after a patient is discharged to determine the right DRG. It's
Okay.
time-consuming and can be pretty expensive for hospitals to manage.
So this new study, DRG-LLaMA, tuning llama model to predict diagnosis-related group for hospitalized patients,
Yeah.
published in NPJ Digital Medicine,
Mm.
really caught my eye.
Int-
It's about using AI to predict DRGs much earlier,
Mm-hmm.
potentially even during a patient's stay.
Right.
Could this be a game changer?
It definitely has the potential. The study explores using a large language model, or
Okay.
LLM,
Mm-hmm.
specifically fine-tuned for this task.
Uh-huh.
They call it DRG-LLaMA.
DRG-LLaMA.
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right?
So how does this AI actually learn to predict these complex codes?
Well, think of it like training a super smart student.
Okay.
They fed this model a massive amount of data,
Wow.
over 236,000 discharge summaries
Okay.
from the MIMIC database, which is a treasure trove of electronic health records
Right.
stripped of any identifying information.
So the AI is basically learning from a ton of real-world examples.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
But how well did it actually do?
The results are pretty remarkable.
Really?
It achieved a macro averaged F1 score of 0.327,
Okay.
which, to put it simply, is a way of measuring how accurately the model is predicting those DRG codes.
Gotcha.
And get this,
Yeah.
it's a 40% improvement over the previous leading models.
A 40% improvement.
Yeah,
That's a huge leap.
it is.
What does that kind of accuracy mean in practical terms?
Well, for hospitals, it could mean fewer billing errors
Okay.
and more efficient use of resources.
So saving money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Imagine being able to predict a patient's DRG early on
Mm-hmm.
and knowing what level of care and resources they'll likely need.
That makes sense.
That's a big deal for managing costs and ensuring the best possible outcomes.
Okay, so we're talking about potentially saving money and improving patient care.
Exactly.
Now, I'm really intrigued.
Okay.
Did they try different methods for predicting these DRG codes?
They did. They tested two main approaches,
Okay.
single label and two label classification.
Okay.
Single label tries to predict the whole DRG code at once,
Mm-hmm.
while the two label method breaks it down into smaller steps.
Okay.
First, it predicts the base DRG, and then it considers things like complications or other conditions to
Right.
get to the final, more specific code.
So it's like solving a puzzle,
Uh-huh.
piecing together different bits of information.
Exactly.
Something like that.
And what's interesting is that the two-label approach performed almost as well as the single-label method.
Wow.
This tells us that breaking down these complex codes might be a key to getting even better predictions in the future.
It's like teaching the AI to feel more like a human doctor,
Yeah.
considering different factors before making a diagnosis.
Exactly.
I love it. So what else did the researchers uncover about how this DRG-LLaMA works?
They found that the amount of data the AI was trained on played a big role in its accuracy.
Okay,
The more examples it sees, the better it learns.
that makes sense.
And some types of DRGs were easier to predict than others.
Like what?
Surgical DRGs, for example,
Yeah.
were a bit easier because the hospital stays for those cases tend to follow a more predictable pattern.
Makes sense. Surgeries often involve very specific procedures and recovery timelines.
Exactly.
So the data patterns would be clearer for the AI to pick up on.
Precisely. But what's really fascinating is that even with these insights, the AI still made some interesting mistakes.
Oh, really?
And those errors actually teach us a lot about the nuances of DRG coding itself.
And that's what I'm talking about, the AI making mistakes and revealing something new about the human side of things.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear more about what those errors revealed.
right. One case that stood out involved a patient who had both gastrointestinal bleeding and acute renal failure.
Oh, wow.
The AI struggled to determine which one was the primary reason for their hospitalization.
I see.
The base DRG, as it's called.
Right.
It's a tricky situation, and it shows how even expert human coders might grapple with similar cases.
So the AI is running into the same kind of gray areas that humans do.
Yeah.
That's both fascinating and a bit reassuring, I guess.
It is. And in another instance,
Okay.
the model actually predicted a DRG that was more accurate
What?
than the one officially recorded in the data set. This raises the intriguing possibility that AI could, in some cases, be even better than human coders at catching those subtle details that affect DRG assignment.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. Are we talking about an AI that could potentially revolutionize how hospitals operate?
Potentially, yeah.
This could have huge implications for cost efficiency and even the quality of care patients receive?
For sure. It's an exciting prospect.
Yeah.
But of course, no research is without its limitations.
Right.
One thing to consider is that this study relied solely on discharge summaries.
Okay.
Imagine the possibilities if we could feed the AI even more data,
Like what?
admission notes, real-time patient monitoring lab results,
Okay.
and get those DRG predictions even earlier in a patient's stay.
It would be like having a superpowered assistant working alongside doctors and nurses,
Exactly.
helping them make the best decisions for each patient.
Yeah.
What other limitations did the researchers identify?
They also pointed out that they weren't able to test even larger, more powerful versions of this LLaMA model due to computational constraints.
So there are still some hurdles to overcome.
There are, but the field of AI is constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
That's true.
So as those limitations fade away, we can expect even more impressive results in the future.
It's incredible to think that we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do in healthcare.
But let's bring it back to the here and now for our listeners.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways from this DRG-LLaMA research? Why should they care about this?
This research demonstrates that AI has the potential to transform how hospitals manage resources
Okay.
and ensure patients receive the most appropriate level of care.
Right.
Accurate DRG predictions could lead to better planning,
Gotcha.
more efficient use of staff and supplies, and ultimately a smoother experience for everyone involved.
It sounds like we're moving towards a future where healthcare is more data-driven and proactive thanks to the power of AI.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
AI-powered DRG prediction could have implications for personalized medicine as well.
Oh, interesting.
How so?
By analyzing patient data more deeply and predicting health outcomes earlier, we might be able to personalize treatment plans and interventions in ways we never thought possible.
It's almost like having a crystal ball that helps us see the best path forward for each patient. This is truly groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away with the future,
Right.
let's take a moment to consider what this all means.
Okay.
This DRG-LLaMA research is a huge step forward.
Yeah.
But like with any powerful new technology,
Right.
we need to think about the bigger picture.
That's a crucial point. As AI becomes more integrated into healthcare, we have a responsibility to make sure it's used ethically and fairly.
Yeah,
We wouldn't want to inadvertently amplify any biases
Right.
that might exist in the data.
that makes sense. We need to make sure this technology benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Right.
And speaking of the human element,
Mm-hmm.
what about the role of doctors and nurses?
Yeah.
Will AI replace healthcare professionals altogether?
That's a question a lot of people are asking. In my view, AI is more likely to become a valuable tool
Okay.
that enhances human expertise.
Yeah?
Think of it as a powerful assistant
Okay.
that can handle the data-heavy tasks,
Right.
freeing up healthcare professionals to focus on what they do best,
Yeah.
providing compassionate, personalized care.
So it's more about collaboration than replacement, right?
Exactly.
AI can help us make smarter decisions,
Yeah,
but it's the human connection that truly makes a difference in healthcare.
absolutely. As we move forward, open and honest conversations are vital.
I agree.
We need patients, doctors, researchers, and policymakers all at the table working together to shape the future of AI in healthcare.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And for our listeners who are eager to delve deeper into the technical details of this fascinating research,
Yeah,
we highly recommend checking out the full paper.
definitely.
It's a captivating read packed with insights and real-world examples of how DRG-LLaMA tackles those complex medical codes.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to understand how AI is poised to reshape the healthcare landscape.
And as you explore the research, here's a thought-provoking question to consider.
Okay.
Could AI-powered systems, like DRG-LLaMA,
Yeah.
eventually lead to more personalized and effective healthcare for everyone?
It's a question worth pondering. The possibilities are truly exciting, and the answers might surprise us all.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI data and the future of healthcare. Until next time, stay curious.